Your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Baytown, bro. Where I from Baytown, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. Way I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Baytown, bro. Where I from Baytown, bro. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire,
good night, Bahamas, and welcome to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I am your host, Valentino, a.k.a. Scrooge, or MP, or Daddy, host of the talk show Inside the Inner City that comes on every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m., except holidays. Telephone numbers tonight are 323-6232, 325-4316, and 325-4259, and you can text us at 422-GR96. Our producer in the studio is Wally, who has been here a very, very long time. From the inception of Guardian Radio, has been doing a phenomenal job for many, many years, and as well as the talk show host, Dwight Scrawn. We have Season Newry, Aben Green, Shawago Lang, Naughty by Nature, and to the many others who comes on Saturday. We do a terrific job of entertaining the public, and it's our job also to inform the public. And my part of the deal on this show is to find solutions, talk about the problems so that our leaders in the country can identify them and try to correct them as much as possible. Because as of right now in the country of the Bahamas, you can see the corruption from the very top to the very bottom. And we're going to have a topic on this today. We're going to also talk a little bit about the progress. And I know you guys who call in, you are my guests, the callers who call in, because you guys really do a wonderful job of calling in. So time to time, I have guests come in the studios, but it's getting around the silly season, so I'm saving all of that for around that time. But for right now, you guys are very enlightening when we have this conversation on things that matters the most. Sometimes the very small things that we tend to ignore are the very important things in life that we should start from to get where we need to go. So I want to say thanks to all of the callers. See Alan Johnson calling a few weeks ago. I'd like to tell him he has been doing a tremendous job in the country by informing the general public. We have 52, we have Bremen calls in from time to time. So thumbs up to all of the callers. Anton, they do that thing, but it's the progress we want to see. But we need to have this discussion. So today we're going to talk about progress and corruption. And before we begin our topic today, I just want to address some of the sponsors who do a little for the country and for each of to have a relationship, and a little small relationship. And has gone a very long way of me finding ways to how I could help empower the community and get the right set of people in the country who are being donating millions of dollars to many different organizations to the development of the country when it comes to crime and poverty. But along the way, a lot of the funds was not reaching the inner city community. And those set of people I wanted to reach was the Greek community, who has been, to me, has been very, very supportive of the inner city development. I'd like to give a shout out to Rotary Club of East Nassau. I'm not a member of Rotary Club of East Nassau, but I was given an award by Rotary of East Nassau. But then, Governor General, the lady Margaret Penland, former wife of Sir Lyndon Penland, who I've known for a very long time and working with her husband. I was privileged and very, very grateful to receive the reward from her on behalf of Rotary. And since then, they have lent their support. Many Greek business persons in the country who have been very supportive to many of the initiatives in the community. I'd like to give a shout out to the whole entire Greek community, especially the Melis family. The leader of that particular family is Miss Alexandra Melis, who has opened so many doors for me. She has also opened a lot of doors for many persons in the community as well. A lot of the development that is happening in that community of Grandstand is because of her and me partnershiping with her and meeting people who she introduced me to. I'd also like to give a shout out to Brent Simonet and Robin Simonet for their continued support in supplying the bin that you see has been in the community for the last 4 years. No one has paid for the bin. The cleanup program we've been doing, that they've been very supportive on helping clean Grandstand. That's one of the items I put forward. And these are the people, when I meet them, I try and find creative ways and how I can make a connection with them so they can help and see that the help that they're giving is making an improvement on the community. So I want to give a shout out to those two. They are great, great, great people. I also want to give a shout out to Bahamas Waste, Miss Heather Maki, who has been supplying the bin, make sure the bin is being delivered on time. She's been working with me the last 4 years. My contact, the Bahamas Waste, to help bring the bin in a timely fashion. I'd like to give my thanks to her and Bahamas Waste as well. And I think, and many other sponsors, Lenahan Bahamas, Miss Sheila Pritchett, Lucas Metropolis from Florida. Yet again, many Greek families who have been donating to the community center to keep it active and running and to make sure that the kids have all the tools and equipment that they need. They have the state-of-the-art equipment at the center. And so many kids are going off to scholarship. You know, I'm so grateful and so proud that seeing that you could make a connection to make a difference in the country. And all that's happening in our community, and that's the connection what I was able to make through the Greek community. And that is through Miss Alexander Melis, who opened so many doors for me and is bringing assistance to me keep on growing. I'd also like to give a thanks to the Greek Orthodox Church. They gave some gift certificate, again, sponsored by Ms. Alexander Melis. She always looks out for me around Christmas time. She was able to get me about 20 gift certificate, $50 gift certificate. I don't like to talk about it, but it's a good gesture. I was able to give that to the young kids in the community so that they can be able to go and get a little, whatever they need at the food store. I gave half to Nate the Great, Italian McKinney, who is the president of Dream Chasers. He is having an event, and I'm partnering also with him as part of turning over transition. He's now the guy who deals with the park. I dealt with the park for over 30-some years. He was my assistant for about 15. When he retired from professional track and field, he wanted to give back, and he was under my tutelage, teaching some things. And now I've had it for so long, I pass it on to him now. I am his assistant, so the sponsors I get, I give him half, and I do half for the next half of the community. We're having a Christmas party, and again, I'd like to give a shout out to the gaming board of the Bahamas. I'd like to encourage civil organizations, small organizations in the country to go and apply to the gaming board for sponsorship, because they are really doing a great job of giving sponsors to small income organization to help with development, help with sponsorship. The money proceeds from the collection of taxes from the numerous number of houses around the country, Sabahs, John Bow, and etc. And that's the deal that the government made for it to become legal in the country. And the gaming board receives a portion, and every year they collect it and they give it out to whoever organization is making an impact in their community So players feel free to go and apply to the gaming board. And you can get a small donation to do some programs in the community. And like I said, the government are doing some great programs. But, it needs to be speedy. I know it takes time. They're saying that they need an next term. I don't know if that's going to be possible. With all the corruption, they're doing a tremendously great job, but a lot of programs, a lot of development, Cat Island development, the development in Lucha, but billions of dollars being invested with the Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, small business, so many great stuff is happening in Zuma Keys and Cat Island. They just get a new power plant, etc. And Cat Island. So the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, they're doing an outstanding job in their respective community, what MPs are supposed to. But there's a lot of other MPs who are failing to fit that criteria. We've seen a young candidate in Sabas who has just changed the scope of being a candidate. He's on the ground, he's repairing houses, he's putting lights to people's houses that, light was off for about 20, 30 years, never had light. You can imagine that. And he has come with that money with a smart, innovative ways on how to transform himself to a businessman. He's going into the politician stage, but he still is giving back. And he has an idea on what needs to happen in Fort Charlotte. It's a blessing for Fort Charlotte. I don't know if it's going to win his seat in Fort Charlotte because, like I said, it's going to be a very close election. But Sabas is on the ground. It's going to be stiff. It's going to be hard to beat him in Fort Charlotte. I don't know if the entire party is going to be able to win the general election, but it's going to be tight. But shout out to Sabas because from the time I've been coming on radio, from the time I made an appearance on media, I've always stated that we need to develop the community, the homes, help empower the people with small business, fix the roads, plumbing, and Sabas has come and he has changed dynamics on how politics is going to be done in the country. So I want to give a thumbs up to Sabas and etc. So I want to play some clip. Excuse me. I want to play a clip about some of the opportunities and progress. So give me a second, sorry. This is the Prime Minister talking about one of the programs they have has brought to the table, and many Bahamians has taken advantage of it. And we need programs like these throughout the entire community because a lot of people wouldn't even be able to go to where this particular site is or location because they just don't have the will or the advanced education to even go on a computer. So there's still a long way we need to go, but it's a step in the right direction. So I want to play it and show you some of the progress the government is making. But like I said, a lot of corruption going on. I don't know how that is going to level the playing field. So I just don't know. So I'm going to play the clip. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, my bad.
Upskill was launched on the 14th of November 2025, and the first group of courses began on the 1st of December. Since then, the response has been strong. Over 8,000 behaviors registered, 27 courses started, and over 2,000 applications came from the Family Islands. Those numbers tell a story. They tell the story of a people who are hungry for forward movement. They tell the story of families trying to stretch a paycheck and still find time to build new skills. Upskill was launched on the 14th of November 2025, and the first group of courses began on the 1st of December. Since then, the response has been strong. Over 8,000 behaviors registered, 27 courses started, and over 2,000 applications came from the Family Islands. Those numbers tell a story. They tell the story of a people who are hungry for forward movement. They tell the story of families trying to stretch a paycheck. I still find time to build new skills.
Yeah, that's the Prime Minister talking about an upscale program that deals with empowering the next generation. And there are many other there are many other programs like small business development and also like persons out there to go check it out as well. You can get up to 5,000 to 10,000, probably even more. They help start your small business. Samantha Roll, she leads that. So a lot of progress, a lot of progress we have made in the country, but we have a very, very long way to go. My next part of the conversation goes to a comment made by former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis last week. I can't find the clip as I speak right now, but Hubert Minnis made a bold statement in Parliament where he said close to $1 billion is lost to corruption and crime. Murders cost the Bahamian people close to $100 million a year. And it begs a question on our country as a whole when we look at the statistics. We are hearing a former Prime Minister speak on these matters. Now, I heard Minnis defending himself when he talked about the kind of pressure he was under when he had Hurricane Dorian, when many lives were lost. He had the COVID-19. And one other particular incident happened around the time that he was dealing with in the span of, I think, about 3-4 years. Many of us, when the COVID-19 came along and he put restriction on us, he was saying that, a lot of people he was saving lives, because, the disease was spreading and he did his best as a doctor and as a prime minister to save lives. And that may be the case. But at the same time, he locked down the country and a lot of people, didn't agree with the lockdown. Some would agree with the lockdown, but some didn't like the presence of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the way they were apprehending individuals who were going to the pump for water or going to get a plate of food or just going to see a family member. And, many persons were put before the court. Some guys who, probably were selling coconut water on the side of the streets were also arrested. And stuff like that, really got the Bahamian people upset. I can understand him being prime minister and a former doctor. His expertise in the matter that he would understand what the World Health Organization was telling him about the COVID-19 and the virus. And he probably did his best in his, et cetera. And he said, no prime minister in the history of the country could have dealt with, the kind of pressure with the COVID-19 and Dorian and et cetera, et cetera. But I would agree with them to an extent. But then again, if it was such a national issue and you said that no prime minister could have dealt with it, then there were two former prime ministers who volunteered at that time who are still paid by the Bahamian taxpayers. Even though they're retired, they still get a pension. These two individuals have hold office for one, Hubert Alexander Ingram. He holds office of prime minister from 1992 to 1997, and then he came back in the 2000, and then you had Perry Gladstone Christie, and they slip one and they slip one again. So both of them have do 2 terms, and as 2 times prime minister and former prime minister, they deserve a pension of $150,000 to $160,000 per year of the Bahamian taxpayers' money. That don't come with the PL, that comes with the PLP money, that comes with the F&M money, but it comes with the taxpayers' money. So we are paying these guys, so even though they're retired, they still could have served a purpose. So you as a former prime minister wouldn't have to deal with all these issues because you are 2 former prime ministers who were well known, who were world leaders, who were head of CARICOM, who know more than you. And if you were to give them the post as the help of Dorian and etc., I feel that would take a lot of pressure off you because they still have value, their position, their position in life, their former position as prime minister still stands as a great testimony to leaders around the world. So that would have been a plus to you. You said no. I guess you wasn't thinking national. So I just saying that's how you're supposed to think. You could have hired those two former prime ministers, one from the PNP and one from the FNM. I think those guys, even though they are from two different parties, with the issue that are so important, it would have made them feel good knowing that they're helping the Bahamian people. So when you said that, I analyzed what you said, but then I came up with a scenario, and my scenario is that you could have had former Prime Minister Perry Gladstone Christie, and you could have former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram to assist you with those tragic and devastating hurricane and COVID-19 that sends so many people crazy, and today people still has not recovered. So yeah, but he made some sense when he talked about the corruption. He made some sense when he talked about how $100 million is the cause of our murders in the country. And he said that money alone could go to so many different programs, but because of the corruption. And when he said corruption, I said to myself, well, some of these deals that the government of the day said that was done deal, and all of a sudden, when they heard certain corruption going on with the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, and then talks internationally about certain MP who the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, were investigating a member of parliament who they say is a conspirator, but that name has yet to be called. And, excuse me. And, man, it's crazy. But anyway, let me finish the topic. And yes, and they and companies around the world, they would start to do a background check on the government, because this has not happened before. We had blacklisting put on us where we had over 700 offshore banks in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, especially in Bay Street. And then they put this blacklisting on us, and we have never recovered from that stage as yet. And that was one of the biggest meltdown in the history of any country, because we had over 700 offshore banks in the country. 700 or more. I think so. Or something like that, my walls. Some big number, big number of banks in the country. So you know how much money was rolling through the Bahamian economy, and then you got blacklisted. So companies around the world who were doing business and made deals with the government would start to pull back, and we saw those in some incident in Freeport. So what he is saying is actually true. In some incident, I mean, they wouldn't say it, no one is going to come out and say it, but then, you see and you're asking, why is the deal not signed? You see the opposition, Michael Pintard, he is saying, tell us the deal, what's going on with the hotel. And then, the government said it was signed. So this one leads to speculate that international companies that wants to do business in the Bahamas don't want to do business in the Bahamas because of the corruption. So it's affecting us, It's affecting us. And, Menace has been doing a good job of being an opposition member of parliament. And he's been talking some good stuff. The only thing I find fault with him is the COVID-19, and he was strict, and he ain't treated us fair, Honestly speaking, he did some great things, but he didn't treat us fair. And I'm not the only one saying that, But as a member of parliament and Minister of Kalani, he is an excellent minister. Okay, you can see the people love him in Kalani. He just want to see consecutive times. So that means, but when he was running the country, no. So with your excuse what you said, former prime minister, doesn't resonate with me, because you could have used two former prime ministers to help you, assist you, and you probably would have been the next general election if you'd hire those two guys, because they would have make you look so good, because they wanted to do something good for the Bahamas, and that was the international stage, so they was going to do their best job, to showcase the Bahamas and how they wanted to help. Yeah. So again, that's crazy. So we lose from corruption. So a lot of the investment you see in that is not something was signed on and taking it long, and you're wondering why. I guess that's what Minister is talking about. It's crazy. I want to talk about the burglary suspect, who died in police custody. First, I'd like to say I have personal experience of being in position of seeing these things firsthand. Okay? In the 90s, early 2000s. Man, I was a high-profile, wanted target, high-profile criminal. All right? I just want to say this. What goes on the station sometimes, it's hard to explain. But we do know one thing. A man came in alive, and a man left in a body bag in the station. I listened to the press liaison officer speaking, Mr. Raming, and he said on TV that, this individual resisted arrest. A call I'm going to get you right now, say the individual, he resisted arrest. And that do happen inside the station. But also, other officers properly trained on how to de-escalate the situation wise in the station. Because in the station, there's no gun besides what is by the desk. You have about 4 or 5 officers on duty, could be 6 on duty at that particular time. There's no way the prisoner can be a serious threat in the station, because it's hard for the suspect, unless he is a Green Beret, to really evade custody and get away, unless our officers are not properly trained. We have seen 2 escape so far from the Elizabeth station, and then the next station, we had 2 individuals who were suspects, who were charged before the court, escaped from police custody. So it tells you one thing about our police: they are not properly trained. Okay? Before I come to you, let me just finish this comment before I forget. And I'm not saying that the police did anything until the investigation is done, but just talking about it overall. I don't know the officer's name. I got some information. I'm not talking about the case, I'm just talking about what happens inside the station. What happened inside the station, you have good officers, you have bad officers. You have some officers who have mental health issues, okay? They are not fit to be on the job, okay? You have some officers, just like we have a lot of mental health patients on the streets. We have a lot of officers in the station who are on duty who have mental health issues. And it's a fraternity. And good and bad officers in the station. And I've seen it. I've gone through it. I had a case a few years ago, if you read the newspaper, where I almost lost my life if I wasn't strong enough to push an officer off my Adam's apple. Okay, call that company right now, right? And I won the case. I got charged with disorderly behavior, resisting arrest, and obscene language. And the next charge, right? And when I went to court, I represented, I had a lawyer. I explained the case to the judge. My lawyer explained the case to the judge, and I won all charges. And I can tell you, I almost lost my life because the officer put his knee on my Adam's apple. That is not a procedure that police officers should be trained to use on no civilian, unless it's a person who is shooting at the police, unless it's a person who is on the run, trying to avoid police, or acting in a manner where they are uncontrollable. Then, with proper training, the police can restrain these individuals and use that method in that case. But citizens who are locked up in the station, some people, like I said, are claustrophobic. They freak out. I've seen this. Some people never been locked up in their life and they get put in the station. They can't take it. They bang in their head. They have to get some fresh air. They ain't used to it. So all these things take effect and this offend the officers. So in this instance, I'm just going to give my assessment. I'm not saying it's true. Come in the station, they're saying that he didn't want to go to court. If he didn't want to go to court, what led to him being on the ground unconscious with several officers trying to restrain him? Did they apply pressure? How much pressure did they apply? Did officers bend his leg and his hand to restrain him? How did they handle him when he was in the station? Are they trained to handle or de-escalate the situation in the station? I've seen this. Personally, no. They beat you just like any guy on the street, just like a gang of guys. They beat you in the streets. They beat you in the street, just stomp you. Listen, it's the truth. I'm not saying this in this case. And I'm not saying the police is bad, I'm saying this is our culture. Whereas the police or guys in the street, that's how our police officers act, and that's how we act as citizens. Okay, so if you get aggressive in the station, some of them officers are very strict. They're mad. Even though the good one there, you make it slow down the incident or try to de-escalate it. If the officers ranking, they are fraternity, so sometimes they just stand aside and things just happen. Not saying they necessarily want to harm nobody or kill them, but that's what happened over and over. This is not a one-time thing. It's going on as you're speaking about it right now on radio. This is going on in the stations. This is a part of our culture. We are abusive. We are a violent nation. We heard Paul Rhodes say it when the police officer beat the guy downtown with the baton. He said that these officers come off the streets and they enroll. He said, we get off the streets and they come on the force. So this is true. A man in the station is not a threat. And I think that some officers probably overdid it. I heard some reports. I listened to officers talk, they talk. If he's unresponsive, that means it had to do something with his breathing. And if it had something to do with his breathing, that means either his neck was broke or his oxygen level was taken away. And the adrenaline of the officers trying to apprehend him, and they're not properly trained. I'm just saying. And this would happen. One could put his knee on the guy, Adam's apple, on the back of his neck, while they try to restrain him. And this, in a split couple of seconds, you're done brain dead. And sometimes the officers, they're so aggressive, they think you're flamming when you're not moving. So some of them are going to still put one or two little more on you. But I say that's for people who are raping. That's for person who's shooting at the police, and if they're being very aggressive towards the police. But some of our officers are very aggressive and should be going to mental health classes. Caller, sorry for taking so long. You have the areas. Go ahead, caller. Good night, caller. You still there?
Listen here, man. I think, a whole bunch of talk shows are trying to get traction.
Yes, sir.
On this issue all day. And nobody succeeded. Okay? But I think, I saw something in the news that we can talk about, though.
What's that?
2 a.m. in the morning.
2 a.m. in the morning?
Yes.
What happened 2 a.m. in the morning?
The story about the MP.
Oh, you mean losing his gun?
2 a.m. in the morning.
You mean the MP who lost his firearm probably in the nightclub and was so...
2 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, see, my question here is that how many MPs have guns?
Yeah. That's a good question.
And if you see a blue a blue plate now. You got to, a question is in your mind. Now, is the person inside the vehicle, are they safe? Look, I think, that probably needs as much investigation as the incident inside the police station.
I agree.
This is a person who has a certain level of public trust.
Yes.
And 2 a.m. Now, if he lost the gun in the bar, it means he went into the bar with the gun.
Yes.
And I think he is breaking the law in some sense.
Yes.
Okay? Because I think, we need to have
Yes.
that looked into, man.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Because, the MP is has more privileges than a policeman.
Yeah, they
Far more privileges.
they're the boss of the policeman, man.
Okay?
They're the boss
Okay,
of the
so-
policeman. The police is,
Yeah.
they're the boss of the police. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And that scared me more than the guy getting killed inside the station, actually. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a scary proposition, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, he could lose his gun if he's intoxicated, and probably, that's how going. Them probably want to show off, the young girls in there and stuff like that. He's the MP, he got his bodyguard. You want to show the young girls he's scrap,
No.
You don't want the MP show off for this tour.
Susie.
Yeah, you don't want the MP show off for the 40, big 40. Hold on, I actually that's you don't want the MP show off for big 40 now, and all them fine girls in there.
Scrooge.
Yes, sir.
The story in the paper said he showed up just when the place was closing
So what he was doing?
with a group,
So what he was doing?
and the DJ couldn't stop the music.
Why you couldn't start the music? Because he reaching he's the MP, he's the sheriff and Don. No, don't cut the music go off, all right? Hey, I reach, right?
No.
What that mount? Why you trying to hold the juicy stuff, man? You ain't want to talk about that MP would show the girls who in the club. He getting big 40 or he big 9?
Scrooge.
You think he had the extra clip?
Scrooge.
I was joking. I'm only joking.
I ain't speculating, Scrooge.
Okay.
I only talking about what I saw
I know.
in the paper.
Yeah, but the paper get one part, so you got to speculate.
No. Let's talk about that,
Yeah, I talk about it, but this is what happened. Just like I talking what happened in the station, what I witnessed. Just like what I witnessed in the station, guys getting brutalized in the station and stuff like that. I witnessed those stuff. So I can rub it a little bit because I know how the scenario go. You want to show off? You think you want to show off? You lucky you ain't being there.
Some policeman.
You lucky you ain't being
right?
there. Yes, sir. You lucky you ain't being there. Go ahead, sir. Sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
Some policemen, you don't expect better from.
Yes.
Okay?
I understand where you're coming from.
But a person that we elected,
Yeah.
okay, that this person, whoever the person is,
You think the MP?
they gotta be held.
I
accountable.
agree. But the MP scared, man. He's up for 100 and this poor year. Now down to 80 something this year. So the MP scared. All kind of people getting killed left, right, and center. The MP, he's scared.
No.
Even though he get bodyguard, but he's scared. But me and you and Wally, you gotta walk the streets being scared. Crime. There ain't nothing to be afraid of. The commissioner was saying, former commissioner was saying, there ain't nothing to be afraid of. But the MP, if you saying they in the newspaper, he lose his gun in the bathroom, and you say he just reach, that means he had to be in all rip up. That means he had to be in all rip up with the entourage, and he got. That's what.
Anyway, I think you need to behave, but okay.
Yes.
Anyway,
Thank
when I see you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for calling, man.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for calling. Yes, sir. Thank you. That's the only thing we can say is we have to speculate, right, man? Because that's what happened. If you come late, you show off all these fine guys and she showed all the titties and nice and all the MP reach. Who? Huh? All sweet up. Bop, bop, bop. You must be lucky you ain't bust couple off. I tell you, Nassau is a violent nation. That's what I try to explain people. If our leaders don't understand what our country is facing, see, that's why I'm here. I can tell you, all right? I don't want to talk about this, right? But listen to this now. I got to lead it like this. This is nothing to brag about. This is my life. And anytime I say something on the radio, you will never hear no one say I lying because I live this life, all right? I don't lie. I know I had commissioners looking for me. I had APB as one of the most wanted men in Nassau. Understand? Wanted for involvement in 3 Defense Force officer and the CID clerk. All right, that's what I was wanted for questioning. All right, that's how some serious stuff what going on in this country I've been, or knowing people who was involved in this stuff. Okay, so you ain't talking to nobody who's no jokey person. Yeah, I changed my life because I was young. But if you know what I went through and how many people I had who were terrorists and bad boys around me who I learned things from, you wouldn't be surprised what's going on. But anyway, it's crazy. I'm a young guy, right? In my lifetime, and I count, and my friends have remind me, I've been shot at. Listen to this now. Over 20-something times we are being shot at. Listen, the guys try to kill me and shoot my friends and kill my friends on the side of me. No one in Nassau been in that much gun violence than what I've been in. And the majority of the time, guys were coming to try to shoot me for either being in the crowd or we to a nightclub or something. So I'm telling you from how it is. And I've been locked up over 1,000 times in the station, right? I've never spent time in prison. The only time I spent time in prison is when I was on remand for a firearm that I got caught with and a kidnapping charge, an attempted murder charge that I went to prison for. And the only reason I got remanded in jail because the judge said I was a high-profile individual who the police cannot get no conviction on. So I got him for a ride at 5, and they put a bogus 1 or 2 charge on me. So I'm telling you, so I've seen these things in the station, you know. There are good police in the station, but a lot of officers are not properly trained. You know, we had a guy who was living, who was supposed to go and face justice before the court. He entered the police station living. He entered the police station dead. All right? Question needed to be asked. All right? You know, and the sad part about it is that they're always going to defend and say they're right. The police force, and that is their job. And this way the division comes in our country. The guy who went into prison, went in the station, he's a behemoth. The police officers who was doing their job and probably overreacted and applied some pressure, some added pressure that probably cost the life of the individual, they were behemoths. All right? Everyone in this country are behemoths. And we are fighting and we tearing down on one another. The police are different from the civilians. The politicians are different from the civilians. All right? They are different from us. We as civilians are different. They will attack one another. Whether it's PLP or AFM, the Coalition of Independence, when they come in power, they will attack. The force will attack itself. The defense force will attack itself. The immigration department will defend itself. And you know what we're doing? We call it infighting. And it ain't the white people in this country. It ain't the Greeks, you know? It ain't them. It's us. And we have an infighting going on in our country where the blacks, whether in government, on the streets, we destroying one another in this country. And we're not making the progress we need to make progress in this country. We're going to take this call on Guardian Radio. We destroying one another in this country. Y'all understand where they're coming from? We all behemoths, but a behemoth walk in the station, but a behemoth police in the station, right? The suspect died in the station, he's a behemoth. The police officer is a behemoth. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? You see who's describing? You know who's laughing at us? We talking about the devil. I've been watching Dante Inferno, and I've been watching the movie. You know what the devil say? You get some niggas in hell. This movie I was watching, and Hey, Wally. They tell the devil, say, I do all these things for you. You know what the devil say? For me? Boy, listen, I wouldn't even do some of the things you do it. You understand what I'm saying? They get people on earth who do things worse than the devil. The devil's spiritual, eh? He's spiritual, eh? We physical. And I watched Dante and Fun and one or two things, and some of the people who died in hell, they talking to the devil, and the devil say, I tell you. And the devil say, boy, some of them things I wouldn't even have done. That's how serious this stuff is. You know? It's crazy. We can take this next call. Go ahead, caller. You're on it inside the inner city.
Yeah, yeah, good evening, Scrooge. Hope everything cool, brother.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, man, I was listening to this story. I was listening to you talking this night, man. I was wondering about his handwriting, man. I mean, it sounded like yours talking some kind of comedy. I mean, you said MP's strap?
The newspaper, yeah. And he lost his gun in the nightclub. They ain't named the MP.
I mean, did they, you said it was in the newspaper?
Yeah, it was on Facebook in the newspaper. The MP lost his gun.
I mean, they named the person too?
No, they ain't name him. They keep it a secret.
I don't know. I mean, listen, man, listen. listen, I mean, I blame the paper too, man, Scrooge, man. I mean, what kind of country we living in, man, Scrooge, man? I mean, if we have a right to know that, you know, the kind of way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if they're going to tell us AMP, why put that type of, like, speculation out in the public?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You want to just tell us who it is so we could know which MP going clubbing, all mash up. You understand where I come from? So we could know who not to vote for next election. For one. Because whoever that is does not deserve to be re-elected to represent any constituency, Scrooge.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? That's complete irresponsibility. You understand? And furthermore, I don't want an MP who find the need to be partying 2 o'clock in the morning, drinking and getting drunk.
Mm.
You understand where I come from, brother?
Yes, brother.
Yeah, we don't need that. That's the height of slackness.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And if we the people gonna sit back and not care and just treat it as, I mean, like I say, but I mean, you know, it's good to laugh about it, ain't nothing wrong, but I mean, you know what I mean? I laugh a little bit too when you was cracking them joke about hoping like cop couple and things, you know what I mean? But even though we laugh at it, it's still a serious matter.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you understand where I come from? So we shouldn't allow this to not reach a point where we know exactly who it is.
Yes, sir.
You understand? We, the public, need to demand to know who that is, man, and demand that person not be issued another firearm, especially if that's a government-issued firearm and not a personal firearm that he was able to purchase somehow and receive some type of authorization to carry that.
I can rub something.
Come from?
I can rub something in. I can rub something in when you finish, boss. Go ahead.
Because who knows exactly what happened to that firearm?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You right?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You might get so drunk, right?
Yeah.
You with your crew. You might say, "Man, all the guys are big MP careless," and now the boys know who you give it to or whatever. You catch yourself next morning. Now they didn't want to get back to you.
That's what. Yes, when you're drunk, things like that happen.
You understand? They didn't want to get back to you.
Yeah.
You understand? But I mean, the whole fact of the matter is that that is unacceptable, Scrooge.
Yes, sir. I agree.
You know what I mean? That shows a serious lack of judgment and man, you know, we don't want to kind of person representing no constituency, man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And furthermore, what I want to know too, Scrooge, is what you think? You think that this permission to carry this firearm, do you think that's only while they're MP, or you think when they leave the House of Assembly, that's going to be a privilege that extends to them for the rest of their life or whatever the case is? What you think?
I think probably you want to say a sitting member of parliament, but some of them is business persons, so they could apply to commissioner, and they tied to these parties, they could get handgun permit. A lot of them could get handgun.
Yeah, because you know once you
yes,
because you know if you was an MP and we had that privilege, you know once we leave, we can still have that privilege.
Yes, still have the privilege. Same.
Yeah, because you know a private citizen can get the right to carry concealed weapon.
Just like the guy.
You know what I mean? Me or you as a former MP or whatever the case would be, we know exactly how to get the connection done.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We know how to wake it out so we can have that privilege too.
Yes.
You see, so but like I say, Scrooge, we need to have a campaign.
Yeah.
Right, to find out who the MP is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, real. Understand? The people need to find out who the MP is, and to make sure that MP is not re-elected, right?
Yeah.
And to whatever degree of accountability. The MP need to be held hold for losing that arm. Man, they got to be held responsible for that, man, because it's a firearm.
Yes, that's a nuclear weapon.
You understand? That's a firearm. Someone can take that now and go take it like for somebody else.
It's a nuclear weapon because it takes lives. It's a nuclear weapon. You call it.
Yes, you understand? Someone can take that now and they go take it like for somebody else.
Yes, sir. And
you understand? So we can't have individuals like that, that careless or whatever the case to be, carrying arms and plus representing us. So like I said before, we the people that need to find out what it is, man, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, thank you very much.
But I appreciate listening to the show, brother, because I would have never find out unless I was listening this evening, you see.
Okay, thank you, man. I try to
be enough respect,
yes, brother. You call us always do a good job. You know, you always be my guest, you know. So thank you very much. Yeah, crazy, you know. I know. MP just feeling it, you know. I tell you, we're a wild nation, you know, and our leaders are not addressing it, you know. Brave is not a hate. I mean, he's not a hateful guy, you know. It's just a lot of corruption is going on in different aspects of parts of government. The police force, defense force, immigration, you know. Now, again, the police again. You know, boy, it's crazy, you know. All these things can lead to people feeling that, you know, the government is just slack, you know, even though they're doing some good stuff and just decide, you know what, you just got to move them out, even though the government is doing some great stuff, you know. You know, when they see all these things and all this cover up with the MP, you know, he lost his gun and lock up the whole club and had people that lock up for 48 hours, all kind of crap can't find his gun, he abusing his power. I'd advise all those persons who was locked up to go file your complaint, because if y'all get locked up for no particular reason, just because the MP lost his gun and he locked down the club, and whoever that was locked up trying to find his gun, you guys could have been working, lose your job, etc., lawfully arrested because of his negligence. Y'all go and file your complaint. You might end up on 20, 30, 50, 60, or 100 grand, you know, because you're going to lose your job, you know. So the producers are going to take a break. We'll be right back after the break on Guardian Radio.
Where I from, Dayton, bro. Dayton, I say up and running.
Wait, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, but just a hard day, what?
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and gritty.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Wait, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us boy one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and junk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau, or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Always on the go? Missed a show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new, fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays, only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
la la la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're back on Garden Radio 96.9 FM. Our producer in studio is Wally. I'm your host, Valentino Brown, aka Scrooge, or Scroogey, or Daddy, or Governor, host of the talk show Inside the Inner City. I have some comments. I have a comment from Coach Grant. He was listening to the show. He's saying, "Blessing, Scrooge. We have made an Xmas again." That's Coach Hannah from Woodcock. Bless her, brother. Yes, Coach Hannah. Just wanted to congratulate for staying the course. Big up to you and Nate and all the families in the hood. The best is coming in 2026. Yes, blessed to you as well, Coach Hannah, because you're much a part of this. As me and Nate, you have been assisting us for many, many years, and we appreciate you as well. He's the coach of Woodcock, and most individuals like ourselves, we all try to give back to the kids in our community. And I got a message from my friend Elroy. He is saying the guy who died was a government worker from the Ministry of Work. His mom said on TV. I heard his mom on Eyewitness News. She was saying that she didn't even get a call notifying her of her son's death. She got information just like everyone else on Facebook when she saw on Facebook where an individual who, when she get to find out later was her son, she said she didn't get a call. Like I said, there are a lot of stuff happening in our country. There's a lot of people who have allergic reaction to when they get locked up in the station. And there are some who are real tough road boy criminals that when they come in there, they're very rough and tough. And there's a confrontation between them and rough and tough police officers. There's be a back and forth, there's be threats of death. Sometimes it's a scruffle, and sometimes they get overdue. I can tell you this now, people. I can tell you the truth. There's a lot of people I watch get beat dead by in the station. If I got beat by in the station once, and after that, I turned a monster. No police officer could have put their hands on me ever again because I turned a monster. I was willing to threaten the police officer, to actually say what I'd do to him outside the station because I had that in me. That's how dangerous we were on the streets. We were shooting guns, we were doing all kind of stuff. We were very violent. And the reason we end up in that state is because of the lack of opportunities, no father figure, weak community, coming off the drug pandemic, the 80s, 70s, the 80s, the drugs, the rum, Alcohol Anonymous. I was a crack baby, God bless me that I had good uncles, a good grandmother, Lillian Brennan, Barry Brennan, Yvonne Brennan, and my late great-grandmother, Louise Brown, who did their best for me. They didn't have to, because I'm the grandchild, I'm the nephew. And they didn't have to. They took me in, and they did the best for me. But outside of that, on the streets that were plagued with violence, selling drugs, I just picked up that habit. I got very, very dangerous violently, and that's happening to our nation today. We're seeing it with the MP. We're seeing it to the rallies, where females are cursing one another, saying bad things about one of the MPs in Parliament, saying things that is disrespectful to one another. We're seeing it on the streets. We're seeing abuse of prison officers, abuse of immigration officers to Jamaican national, Bahamian national detention. We're seeing abuse or the police. We're seeing fathers sleeping with grandfathers sleeping with their granddaughters. We're seeing pastors sleeping with boys and little girls. Man, what kind of crap going on in the Bahamas? All kind of crap, man. Are you talking about corruption? Man, but listen, Wally, this country is completely a violent nation. And our leaders, they got time to worry about election. Me, I see it from a different perspective. Because where I come from, on the streets, I tell you I live on the streets. I see this every day. I know what's about to come for the streets. You understand? I know. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see some of the most dangerous set of guys on the streets get killed. Okay, I see it coming for them, right? I've seen things where girls who they're moving fast and how they were so beautiful and they moving so fast. Look at some of the most beautiful girls moving so fast from guy to guy to guy to guy. When you look at them now, some of them look 60. And some of them was like, fine, I told them beautiful girls. Now you see them now. Some of the guys, them who on the streets, around my age, they drink right out, you know what I mean? Like, damn, no purpose, man. What's going on in our country, man? Your life is the most precious thing. You understand? Your life is the most precious thing. Your health is the most precious thing. you know. But a lot of people devalue themselves in this country because of lack of opportunity and no self-esteem. And the corruption is just killing us all across the board. I'm not against the police, but the police are behemoths just like me and you, and they are fraternity. And what they forget is that we are behemoths. And when they get people in custody, we treat people like alien. The politicians treat us like alien, right? The police, who are brothers and sisters, when we're in custody, they treat us like alien. Now, not all the police. You get some decent police who look after you, take care of you. I had some decent police officers who looked after me and protected me from other rogue officers, like Ala Cup and B.K. Barnaby and all these good officers and stuff like that. Former Assistant Superintendent Douglas Hanna, former Chief Inspector Wari Sanders. I know all these guys. Clayton Fernando, who's the former Commissioner of Police. Mr. Paul, who was former Commissioner. I know all these guys. All these guys used to come look for me, people. Listen to me, right? These guys were corporal and sergeant when they was on the force, come looking for me. These the big guys who run in the country now, who was former senior officers. They used to come look for me. That's how serious we was on the streets. They didn't know what to do with us as gangsters. We changed the dynamics on how the police would approach guys on the streets. They had to go get bigger. They had to go get bigger guns. They had to go get machine guns. You understand? They had to get a group of police to come on the street, young police like them, like us, to run behind us and to carry guns. We changed on how things were done in the country. Then we went into drugs. So, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, all of us came from we were drug babies. And to date, like I say, the corruption is killing us, people. Let me just look for one more clip. I want to look for this clip. Let me see if I can find it, excuse me. All right. Sorry. I got a clip on play. Okay. This is a clip talking about the United States of America decriminalizing marijuana. But I want you to listen to Donald Trump and what he has to say. And then I'm going to see how it's going to affect us here in the country. But before we go there, I just want to say this to the general public. When I speak to you guys, when I tell you all I was in the gang, I wasn't in the gang. I was a leader of a gang. And I used to lead hundreds of guys. Some of the most baddest and most dangerous set of guys back in the day, they came under my wing and a few others in the community. All right? And when I speak to you guys about the police force, I'm not speaking to you from what I hear from people. I'm speaking to what I witnessed, all right? What I experienced. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not no 4 times, not no 5 times, not no 6 times, not no 7 times, not no 8 times, no 9 times, all right? So what I'm telling you is the truth. And like I said, there are many decent police officers. But in my experience with my eyes on how they can de-escalate the situation in the station, they're not properly trained, okay? They're not properly trained. They don't know how to deal with an individual if he get out of hand. He's in the station. There's no way an individual in the station should lose his life unless he tried to disarm a police officer in the station, and then there's a struggle for the gun, okay? But other than that, if you're in the station, the job of the police station is to hold the suspect until question is over, investigation is over, and then that individual is supposed to be transferred, stored in the police station, right, for 48 or 96 hours. Then he or she, if not charged, would be released from the station or will be transported from the station to the courts and then see if that person can get bail or is remanded in custody. That's what the police station is. The police station job is to not harm nobody, okay? Only unless this person is behaving rogue, and I can tell you this now, there are a lot of individuals, including myself, who were acting rogue in the station because some of us ain't had no choice. Because you had some police in the station, like I tell you, are worse than the gangsters, okay? And before I play this last clip, while you listen to what I'm going to say, and I want you to listen to this, what I have to say to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Remember I told you, I had connections with a lot of serious guys. We had a top drug dealer, top hitman in the country. All of them came to me because I was a top gangster on the streets, and we all wanted to meet one another. A comment was made when Ms. Shanton Knowles, Commissioner of Police, she inherited a police force with a lot of allegation. In one case, two cases, they're not allegations because these guys now are going to spend at least, one of them is going to spend about 20 years or more in prison. So there's no allegation with that. But this particular individual was a former member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force until he got caught red-handed. He was in charge of not only the Nassau International Airport, but he's also in charge of other airports around the country. And it's been discovered after a large-scale operation for many, many years by the U.S. government and counterparts that they were watching Pacific operation run by Pacific officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force for many years. We don't know how long this has been going on, but the United States government with their technology stated that they were doing surveillance. And before they lock up anyone connected, they do their research, they take pictures, they watch the transport route, they record, they make sure to take pictures, like I say, about the transaction. They keep some of the money that is marked from location. They make sure they put you in a position that when they get you, they don't need you to say nothing. But they want you to say something so that you can connect them to somebody else who probably they want. But they get you. So, hearing what they was involved with, I think our Royal Bahamas Defense Force plane or Royal Bahamas Defense Force plane or boat, they were saying these was used in the transport of narcotics, right? And that our Defense Force officers was given navigation to criminal enterprise so that they could abduct the authorities of the U.S. and the Cuban governments in our water. So our Defense Force was given guys who were smuggling, human smuggling, smuggling drugs, smuggling guns. They were giving them access to the mops. So that is treason. We have two treason from the Defense Force. We have the next treason from the police. Okay? These are treasonous actions because that is betrayal of not only the government, but of the Constitution, because these officers have violated the ethics and the Constitution and the law of the land of the Bahamas. They're treason. So they're supposed to get hanged in Parliament because what they did, not knowingly, in these transactions, and the U.S. got all the evidence, went to the New York District Attorney Office. They says the New York Supreme Court, their rate is 99% conviction. That means, like I said, they up to 9 yard. Rolly, you buy the gun from me, they go follow you to see where you carry. They can ping that there. They can wait for you now to pass the drug to somebody else, and that's how they work. And that's how it is working in the U.S. before they come at you, so that make sure they have a full scale, and you're not going to walk out from them out of their integrity and out their interrogation. So they got these guys. These guys were treasonous, and these are officers of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and Royal Bahamas Police Force. How long have these guys been doing that? Now, here's the thing. So now Ms. Knowles, she came on and she said that murders are done. Clap, clap, clap. Yes, murders are done. There are many reasons murders are done. Murders are done because a lot of the guys who are committing murders, they get killed. The police are doing their job by going on and get rid of the hot spots where these guys hang up, so they're dispersing them. The rest of the guys now, they're scared with their tail between their legs because now some of their friends get killed. Now everyone hide now because they see everyone could get killed in this. So now even the guys who shooting out there, they ain't go to no nightclub now because every time you go on this nightclub, you're getting light up. All right? So they hiding. A lot of these guys now who they're shooting, they see, they like shoot. But now when they see, hey, other people getting shoot or their friends or someone else get killed, hey, they hiding because they know when they shoot this gun, what this gun is do. They don't shoot people. Now when it's time for them, hey, they hiding. Now they tail between their legs. So this is the reason why crime is done. But to me, as a guy off the street, Here's why I think crime is not. Listen to this, people. This is how serious it is. I've been in the streets all my life, so I'm telling you the truth. If officers in that position who were bringing in drugs and firearms, who had immunity, how many guys they give drugs and guns to in this country over that period of time on the streets of Nassau, New Providence? How many lives do you think the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, not know, we can't give an account because we don't have no evidence, but the evidence that is presiding now with the U.S. and the ties of our borders where we have the airport being violated means that the officer ain't doing his job. He letting drugs come through, he letting firearms come through, he letting money come through, and we turning a blind eye. Evidence to prove that. We had a murder by the airport, no surveillance. Okay? We had an armed robbery by the airport, no surveillance. Who was officer in charge of the airport? I thought the airport's supposed to be the most sophisticated place in the Bahamas. I thought cameras were all around there. From you hit the airport, these cameras supposed to pick you up. Huh? You understand what I'm saying? So, with all this technology and no footage, something ain't right. Someone in charge have to be, but block that up. Huh? So, there was immunity going on the force. We can't say who this, so someone is still there. These people still there. They cleaning up. So that's treasonous. See, y'all people might not be afraid to say it, but I ain't afraid to say it. That's treason. We are being violated from our government with no apology. So Ms. Shantano was saying that, and I just look, how many guys those guys was connected to, them officers, when they get these drugs, when they get these guns, who they gonna give them to? Let me hear this now. Y'all think for a minute what I'm saying. You don't think they know someone Pinewood? You don't think they know someone Camp Road? You don't think they know someone in Grunstein? So those guns was going from one guy hand to the next hand. That drugs was going in one hand. A lot of South Beach, but that's how it go. When drugs reach, it's split. Because the boss won't go this way. He won't get $1,000 this way. He could get $1,000, but when he come to me, he ain't charge me $1,000 because he's the boy, so he tell me give him $600. So a drug dealer is a businessman. You see? Some people he can charge the full price, and some people he can charge the full price. And then, as a drug guy, you want guns. Drugs and guns come together. Don't care how you put it. It comes together. So how many people have those guys affected? How many people of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force lives have they been responsible and destroyed? So some of the people you see getting killed on the streets, they could be in the guns. The drugs. So now with all this operation going on with the U.S. locking up Officer Miller on the Family Island, you see all these major drug busts. This now is because certain people who get locked up in the hands of the U.S., they tell them exactly some of the entry points where these deals was going on. Just like how we were saying how the U.S. was getting the maps from our Defense Force officers. Now the same individuals giving the DA the maps on the routes and the transition point of these drugs coming in the country now. So that's how the DA was able to bust all these drugs. That's why all these drugs are getting busted. You don't see the drugs getting busted today? What you think all this connected to? And you guys are a bunch of fools who out there still trying to run this shit, man, knowing that y'all are pulled it. They get y'all all the entry points now. The police, the FBI know now, and they're working with the Bahamas government. That's why every bus go down now, you see the FBI and you see the Bahamas government. You ain't see no defense officers there by themselves. You see the U.S. there, either the U.S. Coast Guard or the FBI standing there along with the Bahamas government. Yes, no disrespect to the good officers of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and to the officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force who are out there right now protecting us. You are not included in this. This is not for you guys. This is FARC, and I'm telling you, those guns and drugs that those individuals, and I don't know how many senior officers have been doing that in each particular area, out there have been distributing guns and drugs to criminals. That's why guys were paying Mr. Johnson. Y'all getting it now? The guy who's in charge of CID. You ain't hear the guy who with the $1 million thingum, and the big Chief Johnson saying he want $100,000, so he didn't charge them. Y'all see now? Y'all understand where it's coming from, see? You gotta put all these things together. That's what was going on. No treason, people. Because of greed, and we are being able to... Listen, when God finished with us, listen, the worst things I like to see is children getting raped, little boys getting raped, and grandmothers getting raped, and innocent people getting killed for no particular reason. But those treatment, I say little boy getting raped and little girls getting raped, they are crimes of abomination. I don't understand why our country ain't hanging people who rape little boys and little girls and rape old people. Because an old woman is just like a baby, all right? And anyone who go rob an old individual is robbing a baby because they're fragile. Twice a man, once a child. So anyone who born with any child in this country, young child, I would have pop in neck, tell you the truth, because that's an abomination. All of us as humans, as mothers and fathers, should know children off the limits. I mean, everyone's supposed to be off the limit. But when you see an individual who could bother with a child, they demons, and yeah, we can forgive, but that's one individual I'm not gonna forgive. All right? I'd rather him come out of this world than for him to be in this world. Because what they do to those children, and them children screaming, and those grandmothers screaming, but I have for that. You understand? So he had it from me. A lot of treason going on in our country. And the crime is down now is because those guns and those drugs are not being distributed in the country. And a lot of the guys who those police were partners with, who they was giving drugs to, it had to be in. I seen it. I've seen it. If you ask me if something coming to Miami, I was, yes. Huh? Yes. When I was a guy on the street, yes. Police bring gun, yes. But that's how it was. Not even worse, because now the guys, the police, them out there, accused, who were accused, they run shipments, millions. So, like I said to the guys on the streets, listen, guys on the streets, all you guys in prison, right? Let me tell y'all something. Besides that, who bought them with children, besides that, who bought them with children, y'all excluded from this. Raping children, y'all excluded from this. The said who bought them with grandmothers, y'all excluded from this. I think y'all should get the death penalty. I ain't went on, y'all run. All right? But if the said who in jail, who out there, now in jail, right? Y'all done kill people. Now y'all in jail. And y'all didn't get $1. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all need to give the bad boy life up and try to go be a politician or go be a police, because you see that's where all the money is. You understand? Y'all out here doing these things for $3,000, $4,000. The police them run a shipment on y'all, bro. Making millions. Y'all ain't making no sense. Leave me and Rolly alone. Leave the people who go in the town center mall with a little 150, 250. Y'all leave them alone. Y'all robbing the wrong. Y'all in the wrong trade. Y'all need to retire. Wally cut me off, but Wally cut. We'll be right back after the break.
Call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. Way I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to a...
This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new, fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays. Only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and Gretzy.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us boy one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and junk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Croc Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Baytown, bro. Boy, I from Baytown, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it breathe me. But I doing the best I can.
We're back. Wally laughing, but Wally won't cut me off the air just now. But anyway, I tell you the truth, people. That's what Guardian Radio got me here for. They say they want to hear it inside the inner city. Well, you're dealing with a guy who was a top gangster back in the day. But not only that, I had a lot of connection with a lot of guys who were top hitman, top biggest drug dealers. So I had a lot of experience in my short period of time. And in that, I met police officers, I met lawyers, I met prime ministers, I met a lot of different walks of life in there. And I saying that just to say my experience. But if you look at my life now, how I transformed my life, I'm one of the best boys in the world that you possibly can meet. I've done some of the biggest programs in the country to help the country when it comes to urban renewal, when it comes to small business, when it comes to clean up the neighborhood, when it comes to empowering the people, coming up with creative ideas. I've done all that just because I know that's what the country needs if we want to go forward. And again, I'll say this again to the guys in the station and in prison: retire. All right, take it from the pros. And the taxpayers was paying for the gas and the plane and the boat and whatever, etc. Me and you, even the guys in prison, you guys who in prison, same money y'all rob for, or y'all murder somebody for, y'all was paying for the gas for the defense force officer and the police who was involved in these y'all was paying for them, all right? Just later. Retire, man. Okay. We have a call on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Scrooge.
Hey, good night.
Yeah. This Rice from Derby Road.
Hey, bless up, brother.
All right, Joe. I just chime and catch you on the tail end of that before you go on in the break.
Okay, brother.
Gain advice to them boys up the way.
Yes, sir,
Locked in the thing.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
And advising them, letting them know how they was running all the game, and, you know, they just lock up 3 of them from Jamaican yesterday, eh?
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? But you know how it go. You tell them the truth, they get used like pawns around the place.
Yes.
And they're in the wrong game, or whatever it might be. You know, you'll kill up people's children.
Yes.
And you say the right thing, and the Bahamian people need to understand what happened, you know, for those who know how they do things on the street, and how, you know, your sons them get used up. You know, like that song, Red Dragon is sing. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Jamaican reggae artist.
Yes, yes.
You know, never give up
Yes.
to the young brothers in Muda. You know, play that. You need to play that song, Red Dragon song. Never give up.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
Don't let them program you and put no gun in them in your hand and
Yeah.
do all this sort of foolishness. So, this the end of the year, and like you say, everything toned down, and you see how we see how they do things, and it quiet off because
Yes,
those
yes.
who ain't upstate, who ain't answering, I'm
can-
gonna have to call them out.
You can see the connections.
Last year, with landing the plane, them and thing.
Yes.
In Crooked Island.
Yes.
And they used the thing here, them and thing, it was doing what they
Yes.
doing to the international airport.
Yes.
That's why the fair's all over them.
Yes,
You see what
yes,
I'm saying?
yes.
So, you know, I said, yeah, but you take care and you all have, everybody have a nice Christmas and take, you know,
Thank
you all hold tight and leave people things alone, leave people children alone, leave people daughters alone, and all, leave people grandparents and leave the woman them alone and protect them.
Yes, sir.
We love them.
Yes, sir.
You know, you all take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much to all the callers.
Compliment.
Yes, sir.
Later.
Thank you as well. You know, and to you and your family as well, and to all the callers, Merry Christmas to you guys, and you have a wonderful, blessed year. And save us as much as you can next year, okay? We have a next call on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Right.
You're on Inside in the City on Guardian Radio. Good night to you, sir. You there? They left? Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying, that's how our country is, you know. So we're corrupted, you know. You know, there's no buts about that. And our authorities, they deny it as much as possible because they keep the system alive. See, this is the thing. I'm going to leave this with you guys. You know, we talk about the prophets. We talk about the Christian nation. But all of us, the majority of us are serving the devil unknowingly. You know why? Listen, the system, the Roman system, right? Where is it? Transferred to the British. Who is the British? The British is the king. Who is the colony? The Bahamas, Jamaica, Trinidad, and Tobago, right? Hold on 1 second. Who is the Governor General? And the Governor General today is the same thing as the Governor General Pontius Pilate in the Bible. Same thing, no difference. And we are serving, the leaders of the country are serving the same powers that crucify all the prophets, that crucify Jesus Christ, that crucify John the Baptist, that crucify. And you know what we're doing now? We're using that same system. We broke away from the British. We went through independence. And we said that we want a black government. We want to get the white English government out here. And we did that, the British. We got independence. We won the general election. Now we said we're supposed to give a square deal, means that we don't leave no Bahamians behind. Then we have the second body, the PLP, now is there for them. The UBP now is there for them. You know what we did? Now that we won the general election and won independence, you know what we did? Now we in fighting the police against the civilians, the politicians against the civilian, the church against the civilian, the prison officer against the prisoner against the prison officer, the criminal against the police. And you know who all we are? Black people and the Greeks on the outside. They're living prosperous. They're sending their donations and doing great things. Their children are not getting no problem whatsoever. But all of us, we black crop, just killing up one another in this country. So you understand the system we inherit, the political system, the church system, the policing system teach us to oppress one another because we ain't supposed to be killing the next brother in the station. Except the abomination of if a Bahamian person kill a young child or young girl. There ain't no Bahamian. You understand? Rape a young child or rape a young boy. They ain't no Bahamian. They ain't no human. They should be taken off the face of the earth. Or rape any grandmother. They should be taken off this earth. They're not human. They're not human. They're demons. We can take this call. Sorry, 52. Go ahead, 52.
Yes, up, little brother. I appreciate you keeping humanizing these ghetto, like inner city stories, the social infrastructure, right? Showing people how it exists, and you talk about the claustrophobia and the cells, et cetera, et cetera. Some cells, I believe they intentionally don't have the lights working to put you in a depression because, without light, right? Scoochie?
Yes.
I don't know if you understand that, without sunlight or even light in itself, so it all plays, and I just wanted to share that, but I just give you a little example, right? I tell you, when you fuse people together in confined spaces, you have a social deviant behavior. The psychiatrists, they know this. They have done experiments with rodents. I didn't want to get into it, but I just want to highlight what my schoolmate was piggybacking on as far as the eruption of corruption. You never have a disruption in corruption, right? I'm telling you, those who can solve crime, they will be under the ground, 6'6" in a box. crime is necessary, just like war is necessary. I tell you, look at the Iron Mountain report.
Yes, sir.
But I'll share this with you just to expose it quickly, Scrooge, because I got to go, right? Watch this, brother. The fact that the Royal Bahamas Police Force and no other NGOs or human rights organizations are calling for the emergence of a cold case unit, right? Shows you they're not really interested in fighting crime, because they are not importunate. They are not relentless in solving crimes. There's a lot of unsolved crimes that people are still living today. And if I push for cold crimes, I might end up cold on ice in the morgue. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know that, because we could go from Chris Kalmer, we could go from way up, we could go way, way on. Just recently, Hartman Dawkins, right? I don't know if you remember Hartman Dawkins. He was a Bay Street boy, like to be peddling on Bay Street. He got into a fight with some guy around the barbershop by Freddie them, and he ended up in the cell, et cetera, et cetera. Subsequently, he died. I don't know who lied, but Mama cried, right? I'm telling you. So this is recent. This is like the early part of this year, maybe last year, Christmas, but he died in the cell. And because he's, I guess people would call him a hoodlum or whatever they would call him. He's an elderly guy. He's older than me, but he died in the cell. This is the most recent case in Central. And nothing comes out of it. I don't know if there was an inquest or there was a request for an inquest, but more or less, God bless still, but things still in a mess. And this is what they showed in school, so I'm afraid. Just keep it up, brother. I'm just telling you, you have to open up your eyes. In order to solve a problem, you have to acknowledge the problem.
Yes.
The fact that in 2026, right, the Royal Bahamas Police Force will have a cold case unit. They're not interested in these type of things, I hope you realize. Just open up your eyes to what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
They don't want that, Scrooge. Give thanks.
Yes. 52. Like I say, America is getting beat within. All right? No one's going to beat America if it comes to a war. But you know what they're beating themselves? Look at how much mass shooting we're seeing happening in America. Look how much racism. We got Deion Sanders' son. He's supposed to be the #1 draft pick. Just because of his father, the whole NFL scrutinized the young man. We could go with the white guy who played a few years ago. What his name is, he was a left-hand guy, a white guy. He spoke about Christianity. Same thing. He got victimized. Colin Kaepernick got victimized, It just goes to show you what's happening in America when it's supposed to be one nation. There's separation in power. Our religious, our prison, our beliefs, our armed forces. We are separate in the country. We are enemies. We saying we won Bahamas and whatever. We enemies. We fighting against one another. Yeah. This all going. The politician taking advantage of us. The police taking advantage of us. All kind of stuff. That's someone trying to reach me, but I can't talk right now. It's crazy, It's crazy, And like I said, there's a lot of decent police officers out there on the Royal Bahamas Police Force who are very dedicated. But like I said, because of some having mental health issues and not being properly trained or monitored, they tend to go rogue. But like I said, there are many decent police officers out there. But like I say, if you look at the situation facing our country today, we have to say that we are in crisis. And again, we are a violent nation. I want to say thanks to my producer, Wally. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Elroy. I see a few persons was calling me on the phone, but they couldn't answer because I'm on the airwaves. So I hope you guys had a wonderful show tonight. And listen, I said, nothing I said is to offend nobody. It is what happened in our country. We are addressing it, and probably we come up with a solution to fix it, I don't hate the police. I don't hate the politician. I hate the past. I hate the policy. I hate the fact that we as Bahamian are fighting on one another in this country. The police believe they're better than the guys on the streets. The guys believe they're better than the streets. The police taking advantage of the guys on the streets and etc. The politician taking advantage of the citizen, and corruption is all time high. So all I can say is, I hope we take heed and learn and see how we can address the situation facing our country so we can have a better Bahamas. My name is Valentino Brown, host of the talk show Inside the NSC that premieres every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m. My producer, Wally. And I hope you had a wonderful show. And to all the callers, you guys did a wonderful job. And to the listeners, I hope you had a good show tonight and some good points tonight for you to listen that you listen to. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful Christmas. So I'll see you next week if God spare life on Inside in the City on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
You're definitely fine, smoke it on, bro. Boy, I from it on, bro.